Hey guys, it's Kim, Angel Dream Crafts. Welcome to my messy desk. I thought I would come on today because I was making a few little things and I wanted to show you a way to use up all of those little tiny bits and pieces that you end up with after you make your projects. Just little like that, right? This even has some spray on it. So they're just little like bits. This was a doily that I cut the center out of. Just little, this I kept because it has little leaves on it. Just bits and pieces. And you can make them into some really pretty shabby chic embellishments. So that's what I've been doing. So let me show you what I've done. I've made a few little things here. This one I made out of my leftover burlap and muslin. And I just cut a heart and then of burlap, muslin, burlap, muslin, burlap, muslin. Sewed some pearls on, sewed a button on there, and all of these are just bits of lace and fabric that I had. Like this was some script fabric that I had left over from another project, some wide lace that I cut, a bit of ribbon left over, just things like that. And this flower here was actually a free gift from something I bought on eBay, and it was in my snippet basket. So my snippet basket is overflowing, so I thought I would get into doing a few things with it. So that was the first one I did. And then this is another one that I did, and this is a little kilt pin that I had in my stash, and I made this little vintage wall hanger. I don't know if it's better with the light on or the light off. Let's try it. Off. Okay, that's better. So this is what I did here. I used a little kilt pin and I just layered and layered and layered on some bits of lace, vintage lace. This was a bit of fabric that was on part of a handkerchief, and I sprayed it with some a concoction I created with some sprays and tea to just sort of make things look vintage. This piece here is actually from a ribbon, and I cut that part of the ribbon off, sprayed it with the spray, and then roughed it up quite a bit. So now it looks like an old label. Some little tiny little rolled roses I made, bits of leaves from wedding trim. This was from a handkerchief as well. And I just made this little wall hang. The other thing I want to mention, the image here. I have some images in my stash that did not print properly for one reason or another. Some of them have lines across them. Some of them are too red. The ink didn't, like it was getting low on ink or something, and I've kept the images. Use those up. Don't throw those away if you're printing your own fabric images. This one's got some lines through it, but you can't really tell unless you get super close, but it just adds to the vintage look of this little embellishment. So, you know, that's what I am going to use those images that didn't quite come out properly for. I sewed on some pearls and then layered on, it's got burlap and a piece of muslin, and then I put felt on the back just to make it stable. And then I made this little heart wall hanging, which I love. I'm so happy how this came out. This is all bits and snippets, all of it. I didn't have enough of this lace here, so I used a different gathered trim at the top. So there's two different laces there. I cut the heart out of a little piece of white velvet that I had left over from another project. It had glue on it. It looked terrible, but you can't tell because I've covered it all up. These flowers were sprayed before, and I didn't really like the color, so I didn't use them. Doilies that were left over. This is the flower that I made yesterday. I stuck that on there. All of these trims here are ribbon and lace and things that were just in my snippet basket. All of it. So, you know, you can use bits and pieces that you've got left. Use it up. Make your projects with it, and don't hoard your snippets. Use them up. So I thought I would come on and make a little project today. So I've got all of these bits here, and I seem to have a lot of green and blue in my basket, so I pulled out what I had. And I've got a bit of white in here too. So I'm just gonna sit here and do a project and just use my snippets. So go ahead and get your snippets out and use them up if you like, and you can follow along with me. So I think what I'm going to do is another heart, and I've got this. This actually had coffee spilt on it, so it's already coffee stained. So I think I'm going to cut a little heart out of that, and I'll show you how to do that, and then I'll maybe layer this lace over top. This was a part of a table runner, and you can see there's still lots of good bits on here. There's the little edging trim, there's flowers on here, there's all kinds of good things that you can use. So you don't have to have the latest and the greatest and all the best trims and everything to make a pretty project. You can use up what you have, which is really important when crafting, because you know, stuff can be expensive. So let me see here. I'm going to make this into a heart, and I think I want this to be the point. So I'm just going to fold it and then do my cutting, I think. Hopefully I'm in shot. I'm just going to fold this like this and match everything up. And I'm going to make another little heart wall hanging, I think, with this. So all you do to make a heart, of course, super easy. Fold it in half. Take your scissors. And then I start here because this will be like the little divot in the middle of the heart. So I start here. Make sure I'm in shot. Okay. I start here. And then you just kind of go around. I mean, if you like, you can make a little cardboard cutout or something, but I just eyeball it. And I'm just going to come around here till I reach the end. And let's see what it looks like. Ta-da! There you go. Perfect heart. So that's what I'm going to decorate now. Now for these, what I like to do, like I said, I like to put felt on the back of mine for stability, but I don't do that until the end. Now I'm probably going to end up covering that up, I think, but that's okay. So I'm going to take some of this trim here, and I think what I'll do is cut another heart and put it on top, but I'm going to make it a little bit smaller. And this time I am going to use this as a template. So let me fold this. And we'll put this here on the side and kind of measure it, but I want to make it slightly smaller because I want a little bit of this to be bigger and show. And I'm not really worried that there's two different colors. It just makes it look, you know, more shabby and vintage. So let me just start here. And then, let's see, that goes down to that line there. Okay, I think I can eyeball it now. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's crafting. So we'll just get this cut. We'll go around and around and around. And we're just going to cut it a little bit shorter. And then I have that. Yep. And then that I'm going to put over top. And then we're going to save this and maybe use some bits of it. Now you could use fabric glue for this. You could sew the whole thing. I may do some sewing on some of these later, but for purposes of this tutorial, everything's getting hot glued. Just otherwise we'd be here all day. And which I know would be fun, but so all I'm going to do is just start layering things down to make this. There we go. Now that that's down, I want to start figuring out what I want to do. So I want some of this around one of the tops of the heart. So I may put that there. I've also got this really pretty blue piece of fabric that somebody sent me a while ago. So I may cut another heart and put that in the middle. In fact, I think I'll do that. So let me just cut that out here. And we're just going to eyeball that as well. And even after I cut this out, there'll still be lots of good bits on this piece of trim here. There we go. And that will be in the middle, like that. Look how adorable that is already. And then we're going to put this up here, I think. And what else do we have over here? We have that. We have that little blingy piece. I have this cool little crochet piece here. It's actually rickrack, and somebody crocheted on it, and I got this at a thrift store. I've had it for years and years. I had a huge piece of it, and this is all that's left. I've got a little doily that's off of a bigger table runner that I could put maybe there in the corner. Okay, let's see what we're going to do here. Let's do this piece first. Which way is up? I can't tell. Let's do this. So when you're doing this type of lace, I like to just gather it. You could sew it and gather it, but again, just for purposes of time, I'm just using hot glue to gather it. And just be careful you don't burn yourself. I have what my husband calls asbestos fingers because of my years of floral design, so I think my fingers are used to hot glue and hot things from making things and wrapping floral bouquets and things like that. So yep, that looks funny, but hey, it won't when we're done. And I've got this piece here which has a hole in it, but that's okay. We're going to cut some of that too. And we'll make a little gathered trim out of this piece too, I think. Wait, maybe do it underneath here like that. You know, it's all about layering, and it's going to be different for everybody how your things turn out. See, that's a piece of bridal trim that's left over from a really large piece that I had. I'm not sure I like that now, but can I get that off? See, this happens with these things too. Mistakes happen. I think I want that down a bit further. I think I want it there. Yep, I want it down a bit further. That'll be better. So, wait a minute. Let me think. Maybe. What do you think of that? I think I like that better. Yep. Let's do that. All right, let's glue this down first. See, I am all over the place, people. All right, let's glue this down first. There we go. Okay. I'm a hot mess right now. Let's see. Let's do that. Yep. Okay, then we'll cut it. Because if you see on this one, this little trim here only goes down halfway, and then I've done different things down on the bottom. So I'm kind of, you know, wanting to do that same type of thing. So, you know, it takes a while before it looks pretty. So we're going to cut that there. And we're going to cut it right there, I think. Okay. And now we'll do that. and trim the rest. And even though this is just like a little flimsy sort of linen that's in the background here, by the time you build up your layers and then put your felt on, it's pretty stable. Okay, so that's that there, and I think I'm going to do the same over here, like that. See, that'll be pretty. And let's go here. There we go. Am I still in shot? Yes. All right, so that's what we got so far. And we just keep on going, keep on layering. I want to cut this down a little bit here, I think. I think it's too bulky right here. Yeah, I'm going to cut those off, I think. So we're just going to snip there, because we're going to end up with something else in the middle, I think. I have not planned this out at all. Usually I lay everything out before I start a video, and I didn't do any of that. So we'll see if this turns out okay or not. Who knows? Who knows? So let's see, what do we want to do with this? This is cute trim. It does have a few beads on it right there. Let's think, let's think. I do like this. That would be cute. Yep, that's what we're gonna do. You know, sometimes when you use your snippets, it actually forces you to be a bit more creative, which is always a good thing. And I mean, you can, like I said, you can sew this, you can use fabric glue, you can put an image on it. There's all kinds of different shapes you could make. These are just little wall hangings, really, but I mean, if you made these smaller, like the little burlap one I showed you, I mean, that would be really cute in a lace book. So that's a nice economical way to make embellishments for your lace books. Okay, so now I have this trim, which I really like. So I think what I might do is start putting pieces maybe like that. And then what is this piece here? I have another piece here. It does have a bit of glue on it, but I can cut that out. No problem. Yep. Let's cut that off because it's got glue, and that's got some glue there that I don't want to use. And really, these types of projects, the more shabby they are, the better they look. So you just keep on layering until you get something that you really like. And I'm going to cut more of this because I do like it. Nope. I like that the way I had it. Okay, let's see. See, this is why I do mostly sped up tutorials, because I just sit and talk to myself. But that's okay. You guys are here, sort of. Now I've got all of these like pieces like this in my stash, right? So these make great tails to hang off the bottom. See, I like that. That's pretty. And you just keep on layering and layering and layering until you get to where you want it to be. So let me cut this. I'm going to cut that right there. And then I really like this, so I'm going to add another piece of it here. And remember, this is just the beginning stages. I may do a part 2 on this, I don't know, depending on how long my video is. Like, I'm already at 20 minutes, so I may do a part 2 for this. So I'm just going to keep on layering until I get to the point that I am super happy with it. I like that. I might put this one over top though. Okay, so that's where I'm at so far. So I'm going to glue this down and I will be back with a part 2. So stay tuned. Be right back.